Welcome to SrcCodes.com. Thank you for joining me in the series where we discuss terms and phrases that are become very popular as more organizations move towards agile transformation. Today, we're going to talk about backlog refinement. Scrum Guide 2020 says, product backlog refinement is the act of breaking down and further defining product backlog items into smaller, more precise items. This is an ongoing activity to add details such as description, order, and size. Attributes often vary with the domain of work. Backlog refinement is not one of the 5 Scrum events. It has been rightly said to be an ongoing activity. However, every Scrum team that I have been a part of has a designated hour set for backlog refinement session. That is the time the team comes together to look at the product backlog items that we are expected to pick up 1 or 2 sprints down the line. So what happens? We check out the user stories, identify if there are any big work items that need further decomposition, raise questions that need to be answered before we start working on them, and overall try to develop a shared understanding within the team. It is a time when the PO is able to share unformed ideas, features, and problems that the team will probably work in the future date. It also helps to have the team's eyes on the product backlog items well in advance, because that gives them time to think about it, raise the right questions, raise any flags, or seek clarifications that is very critical to the successful implementation. This is how I approach backlog refinement session. Before I start, please note this is my personal experience that I'm sharing with you. Pick anything that works for you and discard anything that you don't agree with. So the first thing is, this backlog refinement session is not the only time I'm speaking to my team. So as often needed, I do reach out to my team to seek inputs, raise questions, and get technical details that would help me build a user story. So though we have a designated time, just note that we are definitely talking outside the session as well. At this point, my stories can be something as a blank canvas, just have that we have this problem, or as a user, I want this feature, or, the ability to do something, a functionality. It could be something simple as adding a call to action button, or an ability to, pick from a drop-down list. So this is the time when I'm taking notes. My team is free to provide inputs, and I'm trying to capture what are the key questions and the areas that we need to cover or have clarity on before we start, and also answer questions that might arise in terms of what is the scope. Usually, if possible, I do encourage the team to do a high-level sizing. Please note that I don't have enough details so that the sizing will be appropriate. However, a high-level sizing instantly gives us ideas of whether this needs to be broken down into further user stories, or needs to become pushed out to be an epic with multiple user stories. Yes, so a high-level sizing, if possible, helps definitely to have it at the session. The team advised me whether a product backlog item is too big or too complex and needs to be broken down. I also encourage or seek inputs on how they want to break it. Like if we are setting up, we are changing 2 fields in a particular page. Do they want to break in terms of the 2 fields in separate stories, or we want to break it at the level of the user? So maybe that page is used by multiple users or personas. So that is the type of inputs that I look forward from my team, and they help me figure that out. So as a part of the team, we do have a quality assurance analyst. So it's like QA or the tester, and once they have eyes on this, they are already thinking about the test plans, how they want to break it down. And it just helps that they have eyes on it and they can come back and work on it in their own free time, so that by the time we reach spring back planning, we might have a draft test plan ready. Finally, there have been user stories which I had to bring back to the team multiple times, because the questions that were asked or the points that were raised, as and when I got the answers, it led to further discussions. So just be patient and trust the process, and you will be in a spot where your team has a shared understanding at the end of the day, not only on the items that they're currently working on, but also the future backlog items. That's all on backlog refinement session. Of course, there is so much more to discuss, but I'm trying to keep the video short and to the point. Do leave a comment whether your team too, like mine, has a designated hour for backlog refinement session, or as per you're following the Scrum guide and it turns out to be an ongoing activity rather than a set hour every 1 or 2 weeks. Thank you for watching. I'll meet you in the next one. If you enjoy our conversations, then please subscribe and like our videos and hit the bell notifications so that you know when we have posted the next one. If you have been with us for more than one video, please leave a comment and how we can do better, or what are the next topics that I should discuss as a part of this series. Thank you so much.